Hey guys, welcome back to Wilder Hope Adventures and welcome to Wales. We are on our way to North Wales currently. We have done lots of South Wales, but we are currently in the middle, I think, of the Cambrian Mountains, and we are along the Elan Valley. But as you can tell, it's been a very dry spring, summer, and how low this reservoir actually is. So this trip is a little different. We've already had to postpone it once, but we're not going to be doing any big hikes, unfortunately. I had hoped to do Snowdon, but Cody has been suffering from something called vestibular disease, which isn't serious, but it's basically really horrendous vertigo, and he can't manage to do much walking. We're going to keep short stuff. He can manage some. He's doing all right, but he falls over. And it can be quite distressing for both him and anybody who sees it. So we're just gonna keep trips quite short. But as with everything on this channel, you make do, you find your adventure story, whatever that is. It doesn't have to be these big epic adventures. We're just doing a short walk along this Elan Valley right now, and it's absolutely beautiful. So all the heather is starting to come out, foxgloves are out, a little bit of cloud inversion, which is absolutely stunning, and a very large bench. So we've just come down 5 minutes from where we were just parked to the end of the Elan Valley, or to end of the reservoir. I came across this absolutely stunning riverbed. Oh my gosh, this is absolutely gorgeous. Aside from the road, I was really hoping we'd stop, so we've got to be a little careful. I left Cody in the car for 2 minutes just to come check this out. We're going to walk up the river here in a little bit too. But wow, this is incredible. Wow, this is totally unexpected. This is absolutely incredible. And you can just imagine how much more powerful and intimidating this would be. We wouldn't be able to get nearly that close and see this churning and wearing out of this entire gorge right here if it was up higher. But man, you can just imagine the power and the craziness of going through that. So, okay, we're going to get Cody and just walk up the river just a little bit to see if there's anything any cooler than that up there. Wow guys, so we just came through the trees, and what I thought I was hearing with the waterfall is actually this massive dam that you can just see through the trees just about. See if we can get a little bit closer to it. So that's definitely really cool. It's a really pretty dam too. It's got to be quite an oldish one. I say oldish. And you can actually take the steps to the top Obviously in Cody's condition we're not going to do that. Any other day we would, but what an absolutely beautiful place. Well, what an epic start to this vacation. I was not expecting that. Really, really surprised. Really, really pleasantly surprised. So, yeah, let's head on up this valley. See what else we can find along here. I'm hoping that this bodes well for everything else, because we're just getting started on this, and I know that Snowdonia and the coast are going to be epic. So we've just come out to the Craig Goch Dam. You can't actually, it's a closed road, you can't drive on it, so we're just parked back there. But man, look, you just don't realise how low this reservoir is until you come out here, and it's all the way down there. And I'm guessing it's from just being so dry lately, because all of this water is going to come from meltwater from the snow that Wales gets, and of course Wales is generally a pretty wet country, but this is really low, and it's like I don't even know if there's water coming out of this at the bottom of the dam. So as you can see below, there's absolutely no water coming out of the dam. Doesn't surprise me, that's really, really low. But yeah, I bet that looks quite cool when there is water coming through this. It looks like a really neat canyon, and it does look like you can actually get down there. Looks like people have walked down there, but I don't think I've ever seen a reservoir quite so low. Such a dramatic form. So I just came to look at this gate to see whether you can get down. It's not actually public access, but it's actually intentionally been drained, planning permission from the owner, the management or whatever, for upgrade works. Basically they're going to improve the dam, which is why it's so low and why the entire thing has been drained. So that's more useful information than just thinking that we've got a very, 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 very low and empty reservoir. So good information, that. Alright guys, so we're starting to head north, and we've come down to Llyn Lwydog and the Brintel mines, which are lead mines, old lead mines. But this reservoir was created to control the water going into the Severn, to stop flooding in winter and to provide, water in summer. But we're mostly here to check out the mines. It's not very far, and we're already getting views of it, which is really cool. So lead mining was one of those things that was either for the rich or the reckless. Fortunes were made and lost with lead mining, and lead mining in this particular area happened. So it had been going on around the 1700s. Industrial towns really, really needed the lead for plumbing and for roofs. But it didn't really start to take off here and get intensive about mining until about 1850. And there's still an awful lot of this building's left. We've got what says a dressing building just behind us here. I'm not quite sure what dressing is, but I'm assuming that has to do with some kind of process with the lead mining and processing the lead itself. So right in here we've got blocked off an actual mine shaft that went down into the lead mines. That doesn't look very appealing, I must admit, to have to go down in there. So this behind us would have been where the water mill or water wheel would have been, using water to, this was called a barite mill, which was basically producing white paint, I think, or actually just to whiten paint, sorry, to make white paint. But even though it was much more labor intensive and heat intensive than producing lead, they actually started about the same time and ground barytes into a fine powder for this process. So that's part of what this mill was right here. And then you can see all these channels where the water came in, came out. It would have flowed back under there, gone underneath, followed all this way through. This is just like, it's really cool to be able to see how this would have been. And then you've got what's called settling tanks right here. I'll tell you, this is super fascinating. I find this stuff so interesting. We're a little bit stuck with where we can go because Cody can't go up and down, but Kai getting really curious. It says that these are flues. I don't know if those are water flues or if those are for smoke, but it looks like it came down. You can see it came out of this one right here, came down and then zigzagged through this brickwork right here and back out down that way. So it would have been water. Very interesting. I wish I knew a little bit more about lead mining, but this is really, really super interesting. Worth coming to check out. It's a 30-second walk down to cross the river below the dam. Now, we're not going to hike up to the lake, but we will drive up. So the dam that we're looking at is a round-headed mass concrete buttress dam. Gosh, that's a mouthful. And actually, upon its completion, was actually the tallest in the UK or the British Isles at the time. Obviously, it's no longer the tallest one anymore, but at the time of completion, it was. And like I said earlier, its purpose was to control the flow of the Severn River to stop flooding in the Upper Severn Valley. So, but this is beautiful out here. Look, just look behind us. Absolutely beautiful. A little bit low, but there's a lot of water coming out of it, which is absolutely beautiful. What a spot. So we've come down to another viewpoint, main viewpoint for this reservoir, and you can see we were over there back on that dam, but you can also see that there is a smaller dam over here that we did cross, but absolutely stunning. But anyway guys, we're going to leave this video here. I hope you guys enjoyed it. We are on our way to check out some more stuff and hopefully hit the coast before the heat wave hits us.